Hi, I'm Steve with Vision Defenders, and I'm here with Tim Scully of Scully Offroad. Thank you so much for coming here and showing us what you did here with this truck. Let's start right there with what you did with this. This is an 84 Defender 110, right?
Mm-hmm.
And let's talk about what you did here with this engine.
Yeah, so the vehicle came to us with a 3.5-liter V8,
Okay.
original Land Rover motor from South Africa, where the vehicle's restored. We
Right.
transformed it with a 6.2-liter Chevy Corvette motor. This motor produces about 430 horsepower from the factory. We turn it up
Okay.
just slightly, probably pushing 440, 445 horsepower now, coupled with a 6L80 6-speed automatic transmission. And the package that completes this is we use an adapter to put the Land Rover transfer case behind it.
Oh, fantastic.
And it really takes a Defender and brings it to life. Now we can drive at highway speeds. Now we can cruise comfortably.
Nice.
And we talk in our world about smiles per gallon. If you want to smile while you're driving a Defender, the LS3 is certainly a way to transform it.
Okay. This is obviously not a stock radiator here.
Correct. Yep. This is a Ron Davis Racing radiator.
Nice.
We've worked with Ron exclusively for our radiators for a number of years, and they produce a really great cooling package. This is a double pass radiator. So the coolant comes into this side and provides 2 passes through the radiator to provide a significant level of cooling.
Excellent.
SPAL electric fans coupled with that are computer controlled, so we don't have to worry about when the fans are coming on or off. They're automatically controlled, so we can just drive and the fans come on when they need to and turn off when they're ready.
So now, is this a typical kind of a project you have at your shop?
Yeah.
Which is it's Scully Offroad. How long have you had that shop?
We've had the shop for 15 years.
Oh, wow.
We've done, in the last 10 years, over 60 LS swaps and Defenders. We have also done Cummins diesel swaps and things like that. But our main staple at the shop is transforming Defenders into regular drivers with the LS3 package.
That's fantastic. Now, you've had such a unique career, Tim. You've partnered with Land Rover, Toyota, Jaguar, doing off-road training with Special Forces soldiers, building your Scully Offroad, where you transform these countless Defenders like this one. But, I mean, how did you get into Defenders?
I was always into off-roading growing up in the Southeast. We would go hunting in Jeeps and Broncos and all sorts of vehicles. I had an opportunity with my apprenticeship. I was going to a technical college. I was able to work at a Land Rover dealership as an intern, and that started the path. I competed with Land Rover in a competition they call Trek. Oh, wow. We won the national event in 2000 and 2001. We went to Africa and did a 1,000-mile race across Africa. And from that point...
Wait a minute, that was over 20 years ago. You're not that old.
That was over 20 years ago, yep.
Kidding me?
Yeah, at that point, I was able to combine my mechanical skills from the dealership with a traveling team of people that worked for Land Rover to do off-road events. So that started my off-road professional career.
Right.
And I'd always had a shop associated with that because that job gave me some flexibility as a contractor to them as a professional driver. I was always tinkering on projects and building off-road vehicles, and eventually that got to a point where the shop was busy enough for me to make that my full-time job and not travel as much. So with kids and everything else that happened in life, I wanted to be home more, and I started to really focus on the shop. And our first project was a 97 Defender 90 that we did a frame swap on, and from that point, it has been
So you don't just do engine swaps, you do frame swaps. You can do anything.
We do everything. We do full frame off restorations, we do service and maintenance, but our main thing we focus on is the engine swaps.
Fantastic. Okay. And that's how you got into these types of Defenders. Have you ever worked with any of these other like Defender importers, like Arconic and ECD?
Yeah, with Arconic, I have a great relationship with Arconic. We piloted their LS swap program. So the first 10 vehicles that Arconic did LS swaps in happened at our shop. We partnered
Wow.
with them and built their platform. They've since taken that to their facility in Charleston, and they do an amazing job there at bringing the LS platform to life. But yeah, we work with them. We work with
Fantastic.
Twisted. I've done some warranty work with ECD. So a lot of the top level. We've done some work with Top Hat, another brand that has had some vehicles through the shop. So yeah, we work with a lot of the high-end builders and developers of Defenders, and
Wonderful.
really enjoy seeing all of the differences that that they bring to the table.
Okay, now you got to answer this question for me, because so many people see these trucks, they're 40 years old, they got these crazy, 400 plus horsepower engines in them. What makes these so exciting? What's the appeal? Just what, in your opinion, because you've raced these, you've taken them off-road, you've taken them everywhere.
I think Defender in itself is appealing to someone that doesn't want the same car everybody else has in their driveway. You drive around these days, there's BMWs and Mercedes in everybody's driveway, but when you see a Defender, it stands out in the crowd. And when you look at a Defender, you sense the adventure that comes with it. Defender really is an iconic vehicle, and people want to have that sense of adventure. It's really, really cool about the vehicle itself and the character of Defender that gives it the opportunity to have that sense of adventure, even if you're just driving it around town. People stop us at gas stations all the time.
Right.
Oh my God, that is
yeah.
cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, when people are coming into your shop, what are most of the questions they ask you about something like this? Do they have, do you have any advice for people who are thinking about doing this?
Sure. Yeah. With any engine swap, there's a lot of things to consider. Yeah. And when you start talking about putting this kind of horsepower in the engine, the most common questions that we get are related to how the vehicle handles the power. Can the rest of the drivetrain, the axles, stand up to that? And our philosophy really is, in a restored vehicle platform, in a vehicle that you have. Honestly, the bones of the vehicle are really good. In a Defender 110, for example, the rear axle is a Salisbury, which is effectively a Dana 60, which is a really big center section, coupled with the Land Rover bolt pattern on the outside. So if you're going to do significant amount of heavy driving or anything like that, we upgrade the axle shafts, we upgrade the differentials, and put in reinforced components. But after having almost 60 of these out on the road, for our average driver, for most of the customers and consumers that we have, the stock components really stand up really well.
Oh, that's fantastic. And like this truck, you've done your job on this truck. You've converted it all the way through, and you've done all the upgrades necessary. Someone could actually probably put 50 to 100,000 miles on this truck, and
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
wonderful.
The drivability is great. We've had customers. We did a Defender 130 for a client in North Carolina.
Right.
He flew to Sacramento.
Mm-hmm.
He got in his Defender, and 4 days later, he was in North Carolina. Drove his vehicle across country.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's awesome. All right. Well, so I guess my last question is: have you ever seen? What are the craziest, wildest type conversions you've seen, or that you've been asked to do?
The craziest one that I've been asked to do is what we call Mr. Biggie, which is a 6x6.
Which Vision Defenders has one of those.
Right.
This
is Vision
Defenders. We're going to be up to your shop next week, and we're going to tour that.
Yep. Mr. Biggie's a 6-wheel drive Land Rover Defender, fully restored.
Good God.
It's getting a 600 plus horsepower supercharged LT4 with an 8-speed automatic transmission. Right. And it is a beast.
Right. Well, so that is a nutty car. When is that one going to be ready so we can tour that?
I would say in a month or two. Yeah, okay. I would think in the next 2 months we'll have that out running around and driving. Well,
Tim, I can't thank you enough for coming out and sharing what you did here and your company. And you just had such an amazing career, and it was just a real pleasure to be able to talk to you.
Yeah, it's been great working with you guys. I really appreciate the vehicles that you're bringing through the shop, and
a lot more coming.
Look forward to doing a lot more of them.
Excellent. Thank you.